Alright, let's settle the score. Push, pull, or hybrid, which supply chain model really wins? If you're a supply chain manager, you know the stakes. Get it wrong, and you're stuck with warehouses full of dust-collecting products, or even worse, out-of-stock shelves when customers are banging down your door. First up, let's talk about the push system. Think of push like planning a giant party before you know how many people are coming. You make a ton of food, set up all the decorations, and hope the crowd matches your guess. In the supply chain world, that means producing goods based on forecasts. Basically, your best prediction of what customers might want. The upside? You get economies of scale, lower unit costs, and your factories run like clockwork. But if your forecast is off, you can end up with way too much, or not enough product. Imagine all those unsold party sandwiches. Now let's swing to the pull system. Here, nothing happens until someone knocks on your door and says, "Hey, I want this." Only then do you fire up production and ship it out. It's super responsive to real demand, so you avoid stockpiling products nobody wants. The catch? It's slower and often more expensive per unit. If demand suddenly spikes, you might not be able to keep up. Think of it as cooking every meal to order. Great for freshness, but not for speed. And that brings us to the hybrid system, the best of both worlds. With hybrid, you use forecasts to produce some items in advance but wait for actual demand to finish or customize others. Maybe you build the basics ahead of time but hold off on final assembly until you know exactly what customers want. This model helps balance efficiency with flexibility, and that's why it's the go-to for most global companies today. So, which one should you choose? Here's the deal. Push systems work best when demand is steady and predictable. Think canned soup or toilet paper. Pull systems shine in industries where customization is key, like luxury cars or high-end electronics. But in reality, most supply chains aren't purely one or the other. Hybrid systems let you ride out forecast errors and still deliver on demand. If you're managing a supply chain, ask yourself, how predictable is my demand, how critical is speed, and how much risk can I handle? The right answer usually lands somewhere in the middle. Alright, that's the showdown: push, pull, or hybrid, each with its own strengths and pitfalls. The real trick? Knowing your market, your products, and your customers, and building a supply chain that flexes when you need it most. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button for more supply chain breakdowns. See you next time.